Okay, so as promised, you were going to see a time lapse of this entire garden that has been growing all season. The camera's been set up for about 3 months now. We are actually going to let it grow a little bit more and kind of die off, so that gets in the time lapse too, which will be at the end of this video. But right now I kind of wanted to talk about, for my subscribers who've been following along with this garden and kind of wanted an update on it as far as how this year went. Because earlier in the season I said I wasn't going to use grass for my top covering this year, and I decided to just go with the leaves that I put on there last season. And this is probably one of the lower yielding years that I've had with growing watermelons. I've only had 4 growing in this garden. There were some other ones that started off that kind of stopped growing when they were very, very small. I think they had blossom end rot. I'm not really too sure. But there's definitely less nitrogen on this entire garden bed without that grass that I would normally put on there. So the yield was a little bit lower, but the melons so far, from the first one that I actually tried, is probably one of the sweetest melons that I've actually had in the garden. So, you know, give and take kind of thing. But as you can see here, I got these 2 melons here. These are growing right here. And this one's pretty large. You can see here, that's probably close to a 30 pound, maybe 27 pound if I had to guess. Then the one next to it's a little bit smaller, which I think is a perfect size. Back over in the corner there, I got my blueberry bush. And over there in the other corner, I started growing some ever-bearing strawberries, and I'm actually deciding to grow those for the rest of the season, well, through the rest of the seasons that I grow with anything in this garden. So I'm going to let those spread through the entire garden because it's going to add a nice crop cover and help suppress other weeds and growth like that. Kind of, if you see all the rest of this bed here, you see there's grass. This is like some kind of undomesticated type of grass. I'm not really sure what kind it is, but it keeps growing, and I keep pulling it out and it keeps growing. So I think what's going to end up happening this year is, once everything's done growing in here, as far as like the watermelon vines, and once I pick everything, I'm going to actually go ahead and get a load of wood chips, and I'm going to cover this bed with wood chips to help suppress some of this growth, and then help keep some of the bacteria and funguses alive in the soil over winter. But as of right now, this year wasn't too bad. You know, 4 melons is pretty good, and you can only share so many of them anyways. But I just wanted to kind of show that, because there's sometimes a give and take when it comes to gardening. So you want to put more effort into it, you're going to get more things out of it. But 4 melons for just a few people to eat isn't that bad. That's enough food for the end of the season anyways, because once you pick them, once they're ripe, you got to eat them in a certain time frame anyways. But that's it for this garden for this season for the most part. This is coming to an end now, and I think that's it for this video. Hope you enjoy the time lapse in probably a month or 2 from now.
Let's pick one.
We're gonna pick the big one.
Hey.